Prudent Scholars in association with Goa Headmasters Association.
Hello students, good afternoon everyone. Myself Pritesh Lotlikar, mathematics teacher from Shree Damodar Vidyalaya, English High School, Margao. Today we will begin with a new topic in maths by the name called Quadratic Equation. Before going to this lesson, let us see how the marks distribution is given for this lesson. The lesson carries 8 marks. The first, fill in the blanks, which carries 1 mark. The second, find the roots of the quadratic equation by 2 methods. One is quadratic formula method and one is factorization method. And the third, word problems. I have categorized these word problems in 10 categories. To tell you a few, like work done, age, problems based on 2-digit numbers, problem based on the fraction, cost, and miscellaneous. Let's begin with the topic quadratic equation. In your earlier classes, you might have learned about polynomials. And we have classified the polynomials based on the degrees. For example, we said a polynomial with degree 1 is called linear polynomial, and a polynomial with degree 2 is called quadratic polynomial. And general form of quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a not equal to 0. This is how you have defined a general form or a standard form of a quadratic polynomial. Then what is quadratic equation? If this polynomial equated to 0, then it becomes what is called as a quadratic equation. We know that equation is nothing but an equality sign between these two expressions. Means some expression is there which I am equating to other expression. So this is a general form or a standard form of the quadratic equation. So general form is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a not equal to 0. This is very, very important condition, because if a becomes 0, then you know it will become a linear polynomial. Let us say I am putting now b term as 0. If I take b term as 0, it becomes ax square plus c equal to 0. This is also a quadratic equation because the x square, the degree is the 2, because we define a quadratic polynomial having degree 2. Similarly, quadratic equation will be one equation where the degree or power is 2. Let me say I put both these terms 0. So it will give me ax square is equal to 0. Again you will see it is also a quadratic polynomial because the degree of the expression is 2. So this is what we define what is called a quadratic equation. So to familiarize, the general form is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, a not equal to 0. Let me take some few examples and tell you which are the quadratic equation. If you observe this equation, you will see it is a quadratic equation. Let me identify my a, b, and c terms. You will see a is 3, b is 5, and c is 2 with their respective sign. Since here all the terms are positive, it is not necessary to put this positive sign here. Let me take one more example. 2x square equal to 0. Now you will see this is also a quadratic equation, but it is not in this form. If you see, the general form is ax square plus bx plus c, and you say there is no bx term also and there is no constant term also. But we know we can write this in the standard form, that is 2x square. When any term is not there, we can put 0x plus 0 equal to 0. So it becomes your quadratic equation. Let me take another few examples. 5x square minus 3. Again, this is a quadratic equation, but it is not in a general form. So let us write in general form. 5x square plus 0x minus 3 or negative 3 is equal to 0. And finally, we take one more example wherein we say 3x square equal to 8. Now, how to write this in standard form? If you see in this equation, there is not a second term is not given. So let us write 3x square plus 0x. Now what I will do is, I will bring this 8 on the other side. Then I will transpose this 8. Now if you see the 8 is positive. So when it coming this side, it becomes negative. Minus 8 equal to 0. So these are some of the examples which will illustrate you what are quadratic equation. And they are, if you see the general form and all this expression which I wrote here, they are all almost similar in this form. So with this, we will start with the topic today, briefly you what is actually quadratic equation. Now your mind will be asking me, if I just put equation, now I have put the equation and you told me it is a quadratic equation because the degree is 2. You have learned that power is 2 means it is quadratic. And I said equation means equating to 0. Now I will put some expression and we have to identify whether it is a quadratic equation or not a quadratic equation. But how will I identify? To recall back from the 9th standard, we have learned some identities. Let me recall you the identities. The 4 square identities, or we can say the basic identities. First one, a plus b the whole square. We know it is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Second, a minus b the whole square. We know it is a square minus 2ab plus b square. A square minus b square. A plus b, a minus b. X plus a, x plus b is equal to x square plus a plus b bracket x plus ab. These were the 4 general identities which were learned in earlier classes. And few more identities you have learned, that is cubic identities. A plus b the whole cube, which is nothing but a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. A minus b the whole cube equal to a cube minus 3a square b plus 3ab square minus b cube. To add few more identities in cubic, one was a cube plus b cube. We create a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. And lastly, a cube minus b cube equal to a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. I will write those identities in later when we are using the problems. So let me take you a problem first now. So my question was for you is, check whether the following equations are quadratic. I will take one first problem. If you look at this expression, everyone will say, sir, it is not a quadratic equation. Why? Will say a power is 3. But let us check, really it is not a quadratic equation or is a quadratic equation. Now here if you see x plus 2 the whole cube is the identity, and we know the identity was a plus b the whole cube, which is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. The identity which I just now said. Now I will use this identity. That is why we say the identities or some of the expression will help us to classify which of these are quadratic equation. So let me use this identity. You can see I am using the identity by looking at this. I will use this identity now. So first, a and b you know it is x and 2. So x cube because it is a cube plus 3a square b. So 3a square is x square and your b is 2 plus 3a b square, that is 2 square, plus b cube, that is 2 cube. I have wrote all these things on the left hand side. Right hand side I will bring as it is x cube minus 4. Now I will say x cube plus 3 2s are 6, 6x square plus, now I will find 2 square. You know 2 square is 4. 4 3s are 12. X, 2 cube is 8. X cube minus 4. Now let me look at the right hand side and the left hand side. There are some terms which we can get cancelled. That is x cube. If both are same on the side, we can get cancel each other. And I will write now what is remaining. 6x square plus 12x plus 8. I will transpose this 4 this side, that is plus 4. When negative number comes on other side become positive. Similarly, if the positive number is coming, it will become negative. So 6x square plus 12x plus 8 plus 4, 12. I can make this equation very simple by just dividing by 6. So x square plus 6x plus 2. So x square plus 2x plus 2 equal to 0. Now you will tell me this equation and you see your first equation. There is quite difference became. By looking at equation, you cannot identify sometime either it is a quadratic equation or not a quadratic equation. But when you solve, you see, you might be amazed, it was cubic, now it became simply the quadratic square came. So it is a quadratic equation. It is x square plus 2x plus 2. So I can say, therefore, it is a quadratic equation. This is just to give you idea what is actually how to identify quadratic equation. So identification of quadratic equation sometimes help us with these identities. Now I take similarly one more problem at the same side. So I am taking one second example. By looking at this example, you will see, sir, it is a quadratic equation because the degree is 2. Let us identify either is a quadratic equation or not a quadratic equation. Now look here. Here I can use one identity. X plus 2, x minus 2. If you remember, just recollect this identity, third identity which I told you, a plus b, a minus b, which is a square minus b square. So I am using now a square, that is x square, minus b square, that is 2 square. Plus 8, that I will write as it is. Same way I will write on the other side the terms as it is. Okay. X square minus. Now you know 2 square is 4 plus 8 x square minus 4x minus 4. Now next step was, if there are any like terms on both the sides, we can cancel each other. So x square minus 4 minus 4. So what remain here? I will bring this 4x term this side. So I write 4x plus 8 equal to 0. If I divide by this 4, it will give me x plus 2 equal to 0. And now if you see final conclusion is, you will see it was looked like a quadratic because of degree 2, but now it became a linear equation, degree is 1. So it is not quadratic equation. If you look both this example, it shows quite difference to you. I had took one problem wherein it was looking as a cube, and here it was looking a square. But finally it approaches, this was a quadratic equation and this was not a quadratic equation. So by this concept, I think you all are clear what is the difference between the quadratic equation and the different types of equation which you have learned in the earlier classes. Now your mind will be asking, why we are learning quadratic equation? What is the importance of this quadratic equation? I have defined your quadratic equation nothing but an equation in the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Condition is a not equal to 0. Another way of defining a quadratic equation, I can say, it is, if you see the quadratic graph in our earlier lesson polynomial, if you see the graph of quadratic, it is a parabola shape. Parabola shape is like this way. Okay, it looks like this shape, parabola shape, and it intersects at these 2 points on the x-axis, and we say they are nothing but the zeros. Here we are using one word, roots. Roots, zeros, one and the same. So what is the use of quadratic equation now? The quadratic equation we are using in the field of communication, architecture. The engineering students quite use this quadratic equation. We are using to find out the projectile of an object, thrown. It can be any object, a ball or any other object. It is also used to know about the speed of the train or the speed of the boat. That means these are slightly higher part of the application. In our real life also, there are quadratic equations which we can formulate. Let me take one simple example about the quadratic equation, how you can use in your real life. You might have come across, but you may not know, is it a quadratic equation? Let us say I have a rectangular field. I draw a rectangular field. Okay, this is my rectangular field, and I am saying now the statement is the length of the rectangle is 3 meter more than the breadth. I repeat with you, the length of the rectangle is 3 meter more than the breadth. You will ask me, so what is the breadth then? I don't know what is the breadth. So let us say the breadth be x. Let the breadth be x. Maybe say meters. Okay, because we mostly measure the fields in meters. What was my statement? I said the length is 3 meter more. So you know, length is 3 meter means it will be x plus 3 because it was 3 meter more than the breadth. So second statement I can say let the length of rectangle be x plus 3 meters. So are you clear what I said a statement? My statement was the length of the rectangle field is 3 meter more than the breadth. So my question was you don't know what is the breadth. So I said let the breadth be x meter. Now when say 3 meter more, now these are the words, these are the hints will give. More means what? Positive sign will come. So it is x plus 3. Now I got the breadth is x meter, length is x plus 3 meter. Now let me look my second statement what I am making. I am saying now the area of this field, rectangular field, is equal to the perimeter of the rectangle. That means area is equal to perimeter. Now you know the area of rectangle formula, that is length multiplied by breadth. You all learned this formula, length multiplied by breadth. I will substitute the value of length now, that is x plus 3 and breadth was x. Multiply the bracket, we give you x square. I am multiplying this x into x, which is x square. Same way I am multiplying this x into 3, that is 3x. And what I said, perimeter is also equal. Now perimeter I will write a formula, 2 length plus breadth. So 2, my length is x plus 3, my breadth is x. And if I solve, I will get this as 2 x plus x, 2x plus 3. So 2 2s are 4, 6. I multiplied and I got answer 6. Now what was the condition? Condition was area equal to perimeter. So area is x square plus 3x. Perimeter is 4x plus 6. Transpose this term this side now, x square. I will do direct now. 4x, if I bring, so it becomes 3x minus 4x minus 6 equal to 0. And give me x square. 4 minus 3, that is x, sign of the bigger number, minus 6. So you see, you got one quadratic equation. We will be solving this equation later on. Now we have to just know why I brought this equation to you is, what are the application behind this lesson? And we say we learn so many methods I told, but why we really use this quadratic equation? So this was a field application, one of the application I can say. There are a lot of application wherein I can use the quadratic equation. So I'll just repeat this for you. What I said was, I said the length of the rectangle was 3 meter more than the breadth. So we don't know what is the breadth. So we took breadth as x meter. We can take any variable irrespective of, but we know we hardly use most of the time in mathematics variable x. Then I say the length 3 meter more. More means it becomes x plus 3. Now my second statement which I am saying is that area of this field is equal to perimeter. So I found out separately area for you. I found out the perimeter and I equated now. I equated one quantity to some other quantity there and I got one equation, x square minus x minus 6. Hope you are clear with this. So this is one of the application. Like this, there are a lot of application which are a quadratic equation. Another question in your mind will ask you, how this word quadratic came? It came from the word chord. Chord is nothing but a square. Here the variables is squared or x is squared. That is meaning of the quadratic. Okay, so with this one, I will give you one little homework based on this which you can try. For your homework will be here is this you can try for yourself. This will tell you, these are the questions based on identifying whether the equations are quadratic equation or not a quadratic equation. It is exercise 4.1 is exercise under that question 1. With this, let us move today further regarding the types of methods which we are learning to find out the roots of quadratic equation. And we know a quadratic equation will always have two roots because it has two zeros and the roots one and the same. My first method today which we are learning is factorization method. And you are all familiar with the factorization method by using the splitting the middle term. But in this case, we will take some expression wherein the coefficients are slightly bigger number. And we found out that most of the students try to make mistake in finding the factors. They do not know where to put the negative sign or where to put the positive sign. So here I will give a little trick for you which can easily tell you where to put positive and negative sign. So when we solve the problem, we will come. There are actually under this factorization, I will be solving you 4 different types of equation. So that you are familiar with these 4 equations with the different shifting of the sign. So let me start with the first one today. Okay. The question will be in your board, find the roots of the following quadratic equation. 3 marks question. So my first equation I given you is 5x square plus 12x plus 4. There are different ways you can find out this factor. So one of the simplest way which I will tell you, we know what we do in the first step. The first step we multiply this first term and the last term, that is coefficient. We do not take the variables in consideration. Coefficient and the sign, respective sign is very important. So I will multiply now, 5 4s it is 20. It is a positive 20. So I will write plus 20. Now what I am doing, see next. Next I am looking at this sign is positive, that is the sign of the second term. So I am just bringing this sign here, plus. Always, what I will do is every time this sign in the left hand side and this is the right hand side, the left hand side I will always bring this second term sign, irrespective of positive or negative. Now I have to get positive, so you know when you will get positive, when plus into plus or positive into positive will give you positive. Next, what I am doing? I am writing on this side some few numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, unnatural numbers. Fix, again you should not change this number. We write as it is, this number. Now here the main thing will happen. Whatever thing will happen is here. Now what I am doing? I have to look at the sign of this last term. Look at the sign of the last term. If the sign of the last term is positive, please remember what I am saying. Just listen properly. I am saying if the sign of the last term is positive, what you have to do is you have to decrease the second term by 1, 1, 1. I am saying, see, the last term positive, I will write those things hints for you. Last term positive, I will decrease the second number by 1, 1, 1. So last term positive, so I am decreasing now, see. 12 was a number, decrease, 11, 10, and you see you will get here only. See, 10, 2s are 20, and 10 plus 2 is 12. It's so easy, we can find out this factor. And here there is no mistake also to put which is positive, which is negative. Like in this case, hardly mostly mistake become because every term is positive, so you know that both the factors will be positive. So let me write these factors now. So 5x square plus 10x plus 2x plus 4 equal to 0. The next thing what I am doing is I am finding the common between these two. I am finding the common. So let us look for the first number if any common. Yes, number is common here. 5 and 10 come in one table, 5. So I will write 5. There is variable also common, that is x. I will write now. 5x square, I already removed 5x. What remains is x plus 5 table 10, 2, x plus 2. This first factor you have to find it very perfectly because that will give you the hint. So first 5x common, x plus 2. What is the sign here? Positive. So I'll just put that sign positive. Again, find out the common. So common is here is 2 x, 2 2 is a 4. So you got my both the factors equal to 0. Now again there is something common here, that is x plus 2 and remaining term is 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Up till here you are finding in the earlier classes. Now you have to find out the roots of this or find the zeros. So I'll take x plus 2 equal to 0 or 5x plus 2 equal to 0. X, I'm taking now 2 on the other side. So plus 2 going on the other side become negative 2. So 0 minus 2 is, it is minus 2 only. Same way here also x, and I'll write first 5x, again minus 2, so x equal to, multiplication number if it's going on the other side or transposing on the other side, it become division, that is minus 2 upon 5. And final statement is therefore the roots are minus 2 and minus 2 by 5. Clear? So how I done? Simple methods we are used. If you see, almost there are 6 steps. Enough, you got your 3 marks easily here. So first I multiply this first term with the last term. I got this answer. Then I found out the factors. I told the last term is positive. What I am doing is I am decreasing the number by 1 1 1. I'll write those last in for you. Same way you got the factors, and finally the last statement, the roots are minus 2 and minus 2 by 5. Let me take a second example. Now I am shifting the sign, I am changing the sign. Here all the terms were positive. Now I am bringing one negative term. My second expression is 8x square minus 18x plus 9 equal to 0. What is the first method? First step is multiply the first and the last term. So I am multiplying now. 8 9s are 72. It is positive 72. In fact, what was my second step I was doing? I am putting this sign negative directly here. So I brought the negative sign here. Now you want to know I have to get positive or plus sign, what do you say? So when I will get positive, negative into negative is here nothing but a positive. Okay. Now next what I was doing, I was writing some numbers here fixed. These are always fixed, don't change this number. Hardly it goes up till 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I wrote. Now I am looking at this sign. Positive. If the last term was positive, what I was doing is, if you see, look here, last term positive, I was decreasing the number 1 by 1. Similar way, I will decrease the number now 1, 1, 1. So 18 was the number, so I am writing 17, 16, 15, 14, yes, correct. So I will get here factor. See. 12 6 is 72, and 12 minus 12 and minus 6 will be nothing but minus 18 or negative 18. So let me write the factors now. 8x square minus 12x minus 6x plus 9 equal to 0. Find common. Again, back same method, we find common. 8 and 12. When you are finding common, try to see the number bigger. Don't look at a small number. So 8 and 12 will be coming in 4. 4 2 is 8. 4 3 is 12. 6 and 9 will come in 3 table. 3, 2, 8. Okay, now very important. Again change because there is a positive sign. I have to get positive here. So what I have to put? Negative, because negative into negative will give you positive. 2x minus 3. Again 2x minus 3. 4x minus 3 equal to 0. So 2x minus 3 equal to 0. Okay, now we can do direct also. So take the 3 on the other side. Positive 3. Finally x is 3 by 2. Or 4x minus 3 equal to 0. 4x equal to 3. X is 3 by 4. Therefore, the roots are 3 by 2 and 3 by 4. Okay, so let me just explain to you what we did here. First, we multiply the first and the last term, or I say coefficients. Actually, it is coefficients with respective sign. So 8 9s are 72. Then what I did, I put the negative sign. What is the sign here? The second term sign. Remember, it is a second term sign. Now I have to get positive. So negative into negative is your positive. Then what I did, I write the numbers here fixed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, some few numbers I'll write. Then look at this last term. If the last term is positive, what I have to do is, I have to decrease the second term by 1, 1, 1. So I am decreasing the second term, see. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. At some point you will get that factor. 12 6 is 72 and 12 minus 12 and minus 6 will be minus 18. We find out the factors, you get this factor. Now, when you find a factor, is very necessary here. Find it properly. So, go to the bigger number, because you will say 8 and 12, it is going also in 2 table. So, take bigger number. Try to find a bigger numbers. Factorization is the meaning only is there. You are go on finding the factors till it becomes simplified. So, I found out the factors, negative sign. Again, you know, common 2x. Now, here is very important, because here positive, don't put that positive sign there. You have to get positive. So, negative into negative is positive. Or slightly one hint is there. Remember, whatever comes here, it is actually the same thing comes here. So, main thing is finding this factor, very important. Then take the first factor, equate to 0. Take the second factor, equate to 0. And therefore, the roots are 3 by 2 and 3 by 4. So, hope you are clear with these two examples. Now, I did with first all positive. I did with one negative, one positive. Now, I am changing. Third expression is 2x square plus 3x minus 27. Okay. Now, if you see what I did, I put the last term negative. Method is same. Multiply the coefficient of the first and the last. So, 27 2s are, it is minus 54, because the negative sign is here. We have to always multiply the coefficient with the respective sign. The next, what I was doing, I was putting the sign of the second term, which is positive. You have to get answer negative here. So, you know, it has to be positive into negative is negative. Then next, I am writing this side number fixed. So, I will write this number fixed. Okay, now the name pattern. Look at the last sign or the last term sign. The last term sign is negative. If the last term sign is negative, what you have to do is, we have to increase the second term by 1, 1, 1. So, I am increasing now. 3 was here. So, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 6 54 and 9 minus 6 3. Here we mostly make the mistake. Because in earlier cases it was positive, we know which one to put positive, which one to put negative. Both were negative, no problem. Both were positive, again no problem. But now the problem arises because we mostly make mistake here, either 9 to put positive sign or 6 to put negative sign or irrespective other thing. That time this method really helps. That is why what I did, I multiply my first term with the last term. I got answer minus 54. Then what I did is, I put the second term sign directly there, whatever it may be, negative, positive, put the sign there. Now I do know what I have to get negative, so I wrote negative because positive into negative is negative. Let us say this is left hand side, this is right hand side. On right hand side, I wrote few numbers, fixed numbers here. Maximum it may go up till 10, no problem, it can go. But so I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the conclusion comes, what is the main? If the last term is your negative, where here the last term was positive. So if the last term is negative, what I have to do is I have to increase the second number by 1. And what we are doing in the second? In this problem we are doing, if the last term was positive, we were nothing but we were decreasing. We are decreasing, here increasing. Very simple to understand. Okay, so I'll write the factors. So 2x square plus 9x minus 6x minus 27 equal to 0. Okay, let us find a common here. Common. Now you will see, sir, no common here. Common is 1 and variable. So x common. What remains is 2x plus 9. Negative sign, put this negative sign. 6 and 27 comes in one table, 3. So 3 common. 3 2s are 6. I have to get negative. So I will be positive. Negative into positive will give you negative. 3 9s are 27. When you reach up till here, you have to get a hint. Whatever the factor is here, is it the same? If it is different, no use of going further. So try to find out the factors properly here. Mostly the signs. Signs are very important. Then write this factor 2x plus 9 and x minus 3. Take the first factor 2x plus 9 equal to 0 or x minus 3 equal to 0. Now I can write directly. Here I have shown you to take the transpose. We are familiar now. So I can say x equal to positive 9 I am taking here become negative 9. And I know it is a multiplication 2. When it goes, it becomes divide by 2. Same way here, x equal to 3. And therefore, the roots are minus 9 by 2 and 3. Clear? So minus 9 by 2 and 3 are the roots. Or we say what are the zeros. So any doubt we can see. You can just see both the problems. You will come to know very easily to find the factors. And now going to last problem, the last type. All negative. If you see, the second term and the last term is negative. Okay, so let us first multiply. 6 5s are 30. Negative, put negative sign. I have to get their negative. So you know it is negative into positive is negative. Write this number. Last term, negative sign. Same here. If a negative, what we are doing, we are just increasing. Similar, we are increase there. So 13, so we give 14, 15. See. 15 2s are 30. And 15 minus 2 is 13. 6x square. What is the sign? Negative 15x, positive 2x. So here actually we make mistake to put this sign, either negative 15 or it is negative 2. So this method helps you, this trick help you. Find common. 6 and 15 go in one table, that is 3. Variable is common x. 3 2s are 3 5s are. Plus, now here there is nothing common, no variable also common. Nothing is common, we say 1 is common because 1 is the factor of every term. So 1 is common. So again 2x minus 5 equal to 0. So 2x minus 5, 3x plus 1 equal to 0. 2x or 3x plus 1 equal to 0. So x, I am taking now negative 2. So negative 5 this side, so become positive 5 by 2. Same way x, I am taking positive 1 on this side, become negative 1 and 3, so 1 by 3. Therefore, the roots are 5 by 2 and negative 1 by 3. So hope you are clear with this first method, factorization method. I took 4 different problems. First was all positive. Second, I changed one positive, one negative. The next year also positive, negative. And finally, the last is negative. And what was the hint was given to you? The hint was nothing, but I just write for you this thing. If the last term, okay, that is last term is positive and if one was negative. So if the last term was positive, what we are doing is we were decreasing the second number or second term we say. And here last term is negative. What we are doing? We are increasing the second term. This is some just for a hint for you. Okay. Clear? So now I've put 4 problems for your homework, and with this we will be ending today our factorization method topic. Okay, these are the 4 problems which are based on today's topic we have learned. So finally, to summarize the part what we have learned for today is, we started with the topic what is a quadratic equation. We define a quadratic equation is an equation in the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a, b, c are real numbers and a not equal to 0. Then with the help of identities and some other cubic identities or square identities, we also find out to check whether the quadratic equation, means any equation is given. By looking at that, sometimes it will become very difficult to tell is it quadratic or not. So we verified whether it is a quadratic equation or not a quadratic equation. And we moved to the first method of today, that is factorization method, or which is called factor method, carries 3 marks. And these are the 4 different types of problem I have shown to you. All positive, one negative positive, one positive and negative term, and all negative. And what I told, the hint was given to you is, what I was doing is, I was just multiplying the terms. I will give the answer with the respective sign. Second, what I was doing, I was putting the second sign. Directly, you can see the problem there. Putting the second sign, irrespective of negative, positive. Depending on that, you will come to know either the next term will be positive or negative. Then what I was doing is, I was writing on the right hand side some few numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like these numbers I was writing. And on the left hand side, now I don't know what are the numbers. So here I told, if the last term was having positive, so what you do is, you decrease the second term by 1, 1, 1, just decrease. And if the last term is negative, like this problem, what we did, we increase the second term by 1, 1, 1. So hope with this you are clear with factorization method. Yes, thank you.